Hello, everybody. It's Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is Monday, the 13th of September, 2021. Please check on the click on the subscribe button here in the lower right to subscribe to my show, and also click on the notification bell in the upper right to be notified when the next episode comes out. Today's episode is The Future is Male. A recent report from the National Student Clearinghouse, NSC, discloses that women are 60% of college students and that men are only 40%. Moreover, male enrollments are declining. One expert quoted in a Wall Street Journal story about the NSC study predicted that within 5 years, there will be twice as many females attending college as males. If recent trends continue, white males are particularly backing away. Poor white male enrollment rates are below those of Black, Latino, and Asian males. An education professor from the University of Wisconsin, contacted by the Journal reporter, confessed that universities have been loath to, quote, allocate funds toward addressing male underachievement due to fear of criticism for assisting white men, close quote. Predictably, the New York Times concludes that the lagging male enrollments are really a problem for who? Guess who? Female students, not males. According to the New York Times, women, it turns out, don't like to attend colleges where there are twice as many girls as boys. So this fact that there's not, that males are not going to college, well, according to the New York Times, that's really a problem for women, not men. So don't give men any money. Well, anyway, politically conservative observers like the Daily Wire's Matt Walsh opined that systemic demonization of white males as potential rapists and unfairly privileged members of society are partly to blame for the decline. Mostly, however, college-age males are concluding that the typical university education provides a low return on investment unless the degree is in a science, technology, engineering, or math field. Well, a degree from an Ivy League school and comparatively few others around the country provide invaluable social connections that for the student's post-graduation career. The typical school is not worth the cost. Males that learn a skilled trade such as plumbing and roofing and many others can earn good livings without a college degree. In fact, they get more dignity by providing a valued service, a service that their customers actually value, than many college grads get from a framed diploma. Additionally, some find that a 4-year active duty term in the military provides the leadership and teamwork training they need to enable them to use their trade skills to become successful entrepreneurs. Now, the real significance of the gender gap is that it foreshadows a fundamental decline in the value of the typical college degree. Youthful males typically pioneer new industries. So watch where they go, because they pioneer new industries. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg have been classic examples. None graduated from college, but their companies became dominant. In the early days of Microsoft and Apple, the computing industry was dominated by IBM, Burroughs, Ferry Rand, National Cash Register, Honeywell, and Control Data. RCA and General Electric had already dropped out before Gates and Jobs came on the scene. But today, only IBM remains as a significant factor. All the others in the computing industry are companies that came after IBM. With some exceptions, like Cisco co-founder Sandy Lerner, women generally don't want to join the new wave, a pioneering wave, until the leading companies have become obvious. That's why Sheryl Sandberg didn't join Facebook until it was clear that Facebook would beat MySpace. Sandberg rarely shows up on TV unless it's some accomplishment that she wants to take credit for with respect to her Facebook or her position at Facebook. When there's a problem at Facebook, it's always Zuckerberg that has to face the press Sandberg is hidden. You don't see her. Boys, nonetheless, boys have long been criticized by the corporate media over their passion for video games. In truth, they were leading the way into the future for the rest of us. Remotely controlled drones are now among America's most effective military weapons. They are a, quote, real world application of video game technology. Even though their pilots are hundreds of miles away, drones can pinpoint targets and can be more maneuverable than the Top Gun piloted aircraft. The drones are not, there's no pilot in there. The G-forces, if they make a sharp turn, can be very high. But for a piloted plane, even if it's a Top Gun pilot, G-forces that they would get to try and follow a rapidly changing direction drone they'd pass out. The turns they'd have to make would put such a G-force on them they would pass out. Now, G-force means artificial gravity, and you get a feel for that, you know, when you're going fast in your car and you make a sharp turn in one direction or another. Corporate media itself is another example of a maturing industry. While its employment and personnel promotion policies are dominated by each employee's gender and skin color, young white males are taking to the internet. One of the Daily Wire's co-founders never got a college degree. 2 of their 5 top commentators also never graduated from college. And in this case, it includes one adventurous Black female, Candace Owens. Other successful internet company political commentators, other successful internet political commentators who are conservative include Matt Christensen and David Rubin. I suspect others of you can name many others, but I'm just going to stop right there. Now, while ESPN was wrapped up in a controversy you may remember concerning whether a Black female or a white female would be allowed to host an ESPN regular show about NBA basketball, the successful internet media companies that I've noted above are continuing to grow exponentially. Hollywood is also losing influence as evidenced by the steady decline of viewers for the Oscar Awards that have been increasingly selected based upon identity politics. Many youthful producers are flocking to the internet, even though internet distribution is presently dominated by politically correct companies such as Amazon and Apple, Netflix and HBO as well. The Daily Wire has been buying and producing movies that reflect traditional values. I, for one, am hopeful that the internet will provide more such examples in the future. From the viewpoint of Confederate memory, just to get back to the point of my website, Civil War Chat, from the viewpoint of Confederate memory, anything that suggests academic historians will lose influence in the future is a good sign for us. Nearly all of them portray Southerners as either evil or inferior to the Northerners, morally and intellectually. The professors are among the most active promoters of identity politics and Black Lives Matter, 2 factors that corrupt their understanding of the Civil War and Reconstruction, and that corrupted understanding gets passed on to their students. Thus, as males increasingly realize that an average college degree falls short of its advertised value, perhaps the colleges themselves will come to realize they need to jettison curriculums designed to indoctrinate students into hating their own country and demonizing Confederates. So that's what I have to say about the males being the wave of the future. But I would like to show you this, which is my book, Trading with the Enemy. It covers the trade between the North and the South during the Civil War. And it does not involve just the individual soldiers trading cotton, trading tobacco for, the coffee. No, that's not what it's about. It's about the economic transactions between private citizens in the South and private citizens in the North, and basically cotton. And the important thing to realize is that 2/3 of the cotton that left the South during the Civil War was purchased by Northerners. Twice as much of it was purchased by Northerners as went through the maritime blockade to Europe. So there's a lot going on here. And in one of the episodes, you'll find that it's covered in this book is a Rhode Island senator who was trading weapons for cotton in Texas. So I went to, you can get this book at Barnes & Noble or Amazon for $26. It's a hardcover book. If you want to get an autographed copy that's signed by me, I can sign it and send it to you here in the United States for $29. But you got to contact me with email, Phil, P-H-I-L _ Leigh, L-E-I-G-H at me.com. Okay, that's our show for today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one.